think that as Americans, we have, something else that's written into our ethos is sort of this Lone Ranger, desperado kind of like mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like the Lone Ranger riding off into the sunset.
Tough guy, hero.
Tough guy. I don't need nobody.
Yeah.
Right. I'm my own man. I don't need anything. I'm going to, all I need, all I have is my horse and my gun, and I'm out. I'm fending for myself.
Me against the world.
Me against the world. And I love it. The Marlboro man kind of like mentality. I see it, but I think it is profoundly unhealthy because it's not true. Right? It's like the Disney-fied version of the ending for boys. Right? It's just not reality. In reality, the reality is, unless we, learn to be well adjusted to our own weakness, we're not going to function well. We're going to become like, we were just talking about Donald Trump getting COVID finally, and we all saw it was going to happen because, he doesn't wear a mask, right? And he's sort of anti-mask, and he's like, I'm not, it's weak, and I'm not doing that. Well, all right, but you're going to get infected.
So what are some like possible solutions to that?
I think us as society have to change the messaging that we're sending. I think us
it's like
society,
machismo kind of message.
Yeah, this thing where like, I don't, that strength is equated with not needing any help or support. Right? That's a false connection. Like if I work for a healthcare company, United Family, right? We are a healthcare company. We are not a technology company. We are not a whatever company, right? And so if I, as a healthcare, healthcare company, and maybe a mature and like respected one, right? But if I have an IT problem, I'm going to have to admit that I have an IT problem. Yeah. And because I'm a healthcare company, I don't know what to do about that beyond the basics.
Yeah.
Like I have an IT department, but we are not an IT company. So I'm going to have to do something called, get a consultant, right? Hire a third party. I mean, that's why God made consultants, right? That because you're not expected, and it would be folly for you to say, no, I'm a mature company, damn it. I'm not getting a consultant.
You're in denial. Right?
You're in denial. And yeah, I guess that's your choice. Don't get a consultant, but you're going to flail. And you're going to suffer the consequences of that. And then you're going to look foolish. Instead of going, you know what, I need that. Because maybe I do know what I'm doing in healthcare, maybe, but I don't know this other stuff. I have to hire a third-party advertising firm. I have to hire an IT consultant. I have to hire a management consultant, whatever else it is. I have to partner with these other companies. And unless I do, I'm going to flail. And I think, it's a false equivalency personally, on a personal level, to say, to connect strength with not needing any support.
Yeah.
Right? I think we have to send a whole different message. And I think this was like, yeah, I mean, I think we have to really, really change the messaging that we send to kids, to society. I think we have to change the messaging we send to boys in particular.
So like the stigma is more intense with boys?
I think a little bit. I mean, all of us suffer from messaging and narratives and socialization, right? And traditionally speaking, yes, definitely women have suffered more from that for sure than men, right? But one of the particular ways in which men suffer, I think, is because we are pushed this narrative that we cannot ask for help. That as soon as you do, you are weak, or worse, girly.
Yeah.
That is something, right? That especially as American men, I think we just...
Well, like when we were growing up, it's like, oh, don't be a girl, don't be a pussy.
Girl. Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's all these things that are like
the
demeaning you,
thing.
but also demeaning the women at the same time.
Yeah,
I
know, because what are you trying to say, right? But obviously it makes no sense whatsoever. But we are trained to fear that.
Yeah. Oh, as men?
Yeah.
It's like your manhood.
Your manhood.
Yeah.
Like your cajones or whatever
your
we
balls
say.
are being taken away. Yeah. Like the harshest thing you can say to like your friend is like, "Oh, stop being a pussy."
Yeah.
Because then they change their behavior right away. Once you say it.
That's motivated because nobody wants that.
Yeah, you can call him an asshole, you can call him a jerk,
a
you
jerk,
can shithead,
whatever. Yeah,
whatever. Nothing's gonna change him. But once you call him a pussy, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh shit, okay,
I better change."
Yeah, I better change
because you don't want that.
Yeah,
right. And that's, I mean, there's just so much wrong with that. So there is not only is it sexist, but it creates this environment where if somebody does go, "Oh shoot, I am feeling something right now that's scary and I don't know what to do with it," it prevents that person from talking to anybody else around him. Right?
They stay silent.
And maybe that has something to do with what causes people to say, "You know what? I'm going to jump." Or I'm going to, right? Like take a gun and I'm going to, you know what? I can't.
Because there's no one else that can help me with this. I can't reach out to people.
And it seems like everybody else is fine. So I'm the weak one. It seems like everybody else is just fine. And I'm the one feeling this inside my heart when actually you're probably not at all. Right? So that's why I speak kind of openly about my own struggles and my own sort of like journey as sort of like a on the other end of the couch, quote unquote, as it were, because I really want to put out there that, hey, no, I want to send a different narrative, that it is strong, it is strength for you to admit your weakness. Unless you admit it, right? Unless you admit it, like there will be, there's no help.